So 6.2 is going to introduce us to what we call one-to-one functions and inverse functions. And we're going to talk about the definition of a function. And a function basically says this for every, and we say it like this, for every x value, there is exactly one y value. But another way to look at x is you can call this the input. And don't forget, you can also call these the domain. So you can say for every input, there's exactly one. We call the y values the output, or you can also call that the range. So in a function, essentially the easiest way to tell something is the function is that the simplest way is the x values do not repeat. So that's really what you're looking for. You're really checking to see if the x values repeat or not. So it says determine which are functions. These are what we call mappings. And notice you have your domain and your range. So remember, the domain is the x values, the range is the y values. And so what you're literally doing is you're going to see if your x's are repeating. Notice that here, Mary goes to 88. She also goes to 91. Therefore, because Mary is going to 88, you can write it as a point, by the way, and Mary also goes to 91, she is repeating. Here, Lee goes to 82. Pat goes to 91. And your last person is Chris, and he goes to 85. So what you're checking for are the x values. Anything that repeats is not a function, because these two right here repeat. This is not a function. If you look at this next one, you can write it as points again. So we go 2 to 20. 1 goes to 10. 3 goes to 30. And 8 goes to 80. If you look at your x's, which are your domain values or your inputs, if you look at all your inputs, they're not repeating. This is a function. From a graph, we use what's called the vertical line test. And the vertical line test works because the vertical line is actually checking the x values. If every vertical line intersects the graph of a function f of f in at most 1 point, means you can only touch it at 1 point, then f is a function. So what you literally do is you're going to determine which are functions. What you're going to do is you draw lines through it like this, vertical lines. If the graph only hits at exactly 1 point, which you notice it is hitting here, 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 and here, the vertical lines are actually measuring x values. And because of that, this is a function. This passes the vertical line test. This is a function. However, if you look at this graph right here, here it hits it here and here. Here it hits it here and here. If it hits it in more than one spot, it is not a function. This is because x values are repeating.